Alberta left behind. Ottawa's alarming move sparks outrage in the West. In recent months, tensions between Alberta and the federal government have intensified, with a growing number of Albertans feeling increasingly marginalized by Ottawa's policies. This feeling of disenfranchisement has roots in historical grievances that have festered over decades. The introduction of new federal legislation aimed at expediting project approvals and dismantling internal trade barriers has been met with skepticism in Alberta. While Prime Minister Mark Carney touts these measures as necessary for national economic growth, provincial leaders argue that Alberta's unique economic landscape, heavily reliant on the energy sector, is not adequately considered in these sweeping changes. Many believe that a one-size-fits-all approach from Ottawa fails to account for the distinct challenges faced by resource-rich provinces, which often have their own economic cycles and needs. Premier Danielle Smith has been vocal in her criticism, asserting that the federal approach may undermine Alberta's jurisdiction over its natural resources. She contends that the new legislation, although designed to reduce project approval timelines from 5 years to 2, fails to address the specific needs and challenges faced by Alberta's energy industry. Many in the province argue that fast-tracking approvals without local consultation can lead to projects that do not align with Alberta's priorities or environmental standards. This sentiment resonates with many in Alberta who feel that Ottawa's policies are increasingly out of touch with their economic realities, particularly as the energy sector has been a bedrock of provincial prosperity for generations. The federal government's outreach to the oil industry, including discussions on supporting new pipelines and carbon capture initiatives, marks a significant shift from previous climate-focused policies. However, skepticism remains among Alberta's energy producers, who fear that federal regulations and environmental mandates could hinder the province's economic prospects. Many in the industry believe that Ottawa's approach may lead to increased operational costs and regulatory burdens, complicating an already challenging business environment. Producers are concerned that while the federal government promotes green initiatives, they may inadvertently stifle the very sector that provides jobs and revenue for the province. This tension highlights the difficulty of reconciling national climate goals with the economic realities faced by resource-dependent provinces like Alberta. A long-standing point of contention is the federal equalization payment system. Alberta contributes significantly to this program but receives comparatively less in return, leading to perceptions of fiscal imbalance. Critics argue that the current formula fails to account for the province's economic downturns and the challenges faced by its resource-dependent economy. These inequities have led to a growing sense of injustice, as many Albertans feel that their contributions to the national economy are being overlooked. Calls for reform have intensified, with Alberta officials demanding a more equitable distribution that reflects the province's contributions and needs. This fiscal disparity exacerbates feelings of alienation among Albertans, fueling a narrative that they are being unfairly treated by a government focused on the interests of other regions, including those in eastern Canada. The perceived marginalization has fueled separatist sentiments within Alberta. Premier Smith's government has passed legislation lowering the threshold for citizens to initiate a referendum on secession, a move that has raised eyebrows across Canada. The very idea of separation, once considered fringe, has gained traction among a segment of the population that feels their voices are not being heard. This has created a political climate where discussions about independence are becoming more mainstream in Alberta's political discourse. The separatist Republican Party of Alberta, led by Cameron Davies, has criticized both the federal government and the provincial United Conservative Party for not adequately defending Alberta's interests. Davies argues that the current political dynamics have created a toxic, abusive relationship between Alberta and Ottawa, necessitating serious consideration of independence as a viable option for the province's future. Opposition leader Pierre Poilievre acknowledges Alberta's grievances, but opposes separation, advocating instead for policies that respect provincial autonomy and promote economic growth. He emphasizes the need for a federal approach that recognizes the unique challenges faced by provinces like Alberta. Poilievre's position reflects a broader desire among some politicians to bridge the gap between federal and provincial interests, aiming to foster a collaborative environment where regional voices are heard and valued. However, the effectiveness of such an approach remains to be seen, particularly in light of the growing discontent among Albertans. Many citizens are skeptical that Ottawa can pivot quickly enough to address their concerns, leading to increased frustration and calls for radical solutions. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Carney maintains that his administration's initiatives aim to unify the country and bolster Canada's position as a global energy leader. He argues that these measures are not only beneficial for national growth, but also essential for addressing climate change and transitioning to a sustainable future. However, the growing discontent in Alberta suggests that without meaningful engagement and policy adjustments, national unity may face unprecedented challenges. The rift between Ottawa and Alberta could pose significant implications for Canada's political landscape as trust and cooperation erode. If both sides cannot find common ground, the consequences may extend beyond mere political disagreements, affecting economic stability and social cohesion across the country. The unfolding political landscape underscores the delicate balance between federal authority and provincial rights. Alberta's sense of being left behind reflects deeper issues of representation, economic equity, and cultural recognition. Many Albertans feel that their voices are not adequately represented in the halls of power, leading to a growing disconnect between citizens and their government. This sentiment is particularly pronounced among those in the energy sector, where the stakes are high and livelihoods depend on favorable policies and regulations. The challenge lies in creating a dialogue that is both inclusive and constructive, allowing for a diverse range of perspectives to be heard and considered. Addressing these concerns requires open dialogue, mutual respect, and a commitment to policies that honor the diverse needs of all Canadian provinces. Initiatives aimed at fostering cooperation and understanding could pave the way for a more harmonious relationship between Alberta and Ottawa. By prioritizing communication and collaboration, both levels of government can work towards solutions that benefit not only Alberta, but the entire nation. This approach could also help to mitigate the rising sentiments of separation and disillusionment among Alberta's populace. Engaging with community leaders, business stakeholders, and everyday citizens may offer insights that lead to more tailored and effective policy solutions. In conclusion, the relationship between Alberta and the federal government is at a crossroads. The province's leaders and citizens are calling for greater recognition of their unique economic and cultural identity. Whether through policy reform, increased autonomy, or other means, it is imperative that Ottawa engages constructively with Alberta to address these long-standing issues. Acknowledging the specific needs of Alberta's economy and the sentiments of its people is crucial for fostering a more inclusive and equitable federation. Failure to do so may not only deepen the rift between Alberta and Ottawa, but could also have far-reaching implications for Canada's unity and stability in the years to come. The way forward requires not just political will, but a genuine commitment to understanding and addressing the complex tapestry of interests that make up Canada.